What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to Life to Metal. Gonna do a what's spinning today. Just some vinyl that I've been spinning over the last 2 weeks as I'm in my office working. When I work from home, which I've started to do more and more recently, I spin vinyl. That's what I do. Listen to music and work. So I got a handful of them here that I've been listening to. This is stuff I've been pulling off the shelves as opposed to newer stuff. There's nothing in here that's brand new that I haven't shown before, so this is all stuff I've shown in previous videos. However, this is stuff that I have been spinning. So, gonna get right into it. Of course, what's spinning in the background is Christmas time, and I do like the Christmas music, especially if it's metal and rock-based Christmas music. And of course, you all know my label put this out. This is a Helix Christmas, and fantastic. This is really good. I just have been playing it over and over again through the season, and not only because I like it, but my family likes it too. So it's a good album. It's very good, straightforward, hard rock, heavy metal Christmas album. My favorite tracks, let's see if I can... I really like Grandma's Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Their version is very fun. And All I Want for Christmas is the Leafs to Win the Cup is hilarious. And of course, I'm not a big Leafs fan, but... Santa Claus is Back in Town is a good one. Jingle Bell, the whole thing is good. Happy Christmas, War is Over. Just some great stuff on here. So, yeah, Christmas time. Spin some Christmas music. So, I hadn't heard this one in a while. This is one of my all-time favorite records. I recently picked up a pin of this album cover, so I started spinning the album again. This is Deliverance Weapons of Our Warfare, one of my all-time speed metal albums. This is actually a Rock's pressing, second pressing, and the vinyl's cool on this. I'm going to show you the vinyl. I don't really do that for the what's spinning videos, but this one's just too cool not to show. So there's the vinyl. Pretty cool. And that was the second pressing of this on Rock's Records. The first pressing was a pure blue or black. They had two different versions. The second pressing came with the blue-black mix together. So, and there was only... You can see on the bottom down here it says second pressing 2017, and that was number 2 of 100. Only 100 of those pressed, so very cool. One of my, like I said, my all-time favorite albums. So some Japanese metal from the early 80s. What's this one? 82, 83, somewhere in that area. 83, and Earthshaker, straightforward, heavy metal. You know, comparing them to loudness would not be far off here. More towards the heavier side of things, not really too commercial. Just great straightforward heavy metal. Lots of guitar pyrotechnics. Lyrics are a bit, you know, funky once in a while, just because these guys, you know, English isn't their first language. But I kind of like that. You know, I kind of like the foreignness to the vocals and to the language. So it's pretty cool. Just a very good album from them. I have a couple of them. I believe this is their first album. I also have, I think, their second album. I need to get more because that's all I have is those two. I did show this one in a recent video, recent pickup, but Mama's Boys, this album is brilliant. This album, 1983, this album should have been huge. You know, they do that cover of the Mama We're All Crazy Now. That should have been their hit, but it ended up becoming a hit for Quiet Riot. Nothing against Quiet Riot, I like them too, but their version is great, and this whole album is just so well done. Not a bad song on here. Crazy Daisy's House of Dreams. That song has a hook that can just drag in a whale. It's just so great. The Professor, a killer, like instrumental, where it's guitars and violins all mixed together. And then of course there's also violins and the awesome Runaway Dreams. Just a brilliant record from the Irish band Mama's Boys. Been pulling out a few live albums because I'm going to be doing. I've been discussing with some people online. Going to be doing favorite live albums from the single live albums. You know, you always get to see these double live albums. There's tons of great double live albums. You know, Strangers in the Night, UFO, Kiss Alive. There's, you know, just so many double live. Gonzo, Peter Frampton Comes Alive. There's tons of great double live albums, but there's also a lot of good single live albums. So I was kind of listening to some that I wanted to check out. So this is Kim Mitchell's I Am a Wild Party Live. Spun that one this past week, as well as Pat Travers Band, Go For What You Know. Absolute killer. This one would definitely be on my list, so you'll be seeing this one again soon. No doubt about that one. Another Rocks release that I just pulled out because I hadn't heard it in a while, but this is Soldier, Babylon. In this case, Babylon and Beyond, the 30th anniversary edition. even though it's called a 30th anniversary edition, this is the first time it's ever been released on vinyl. It only ever been released on cassette in the past. But yeah, white vinyl, as you can see in the back. It's one of those J-card sleeves, and it's got a plastic sleeve covering it. I put mine in a MoFi as well. But yeah, just great, straightforward 80s heavy metal right straight out of LA. Bit glammy, but not glam metal. It's got a more of a edge to it than, you know, like a Poison or something like that. So moving on. So this is not a 30-minute long video. Some prog. This is one I picked up recently. I showed it quite a while ago, but I just had only spun it once, so I gave it another spin and quite enjoyed it. This is Vigilante by Magnum. 80s style prog, you know, not the stuff like Yes or Genesis or Nectar or all those other bands from the 70s that I love. This is more 80s style prog, you know, it's got a little bit more keyboards to it. But yeah, just very good band. I really enjoyed this album. Only my second time ever hearing it when I spun it this past week. So this one I've had spun several times, and I need to get more from this band. Absolutely love this band. This is Eloy. This is the Ocean album. Brilliant prog. Eloy, I can't remember if they're German or UK. Don't matter. It's just good stuff from the 70s. Let's see if there's a year on here. There's not one on the back that I see. Oh yeah, there is. 1977. Cool album cover as well. I mean, that's just a bitchin' cover. You know what I mean? It's just awesome. So looking for more from these guys. But yeah, this one actually got spun a couple times in the last few weeks. Sticking with the kind of prog theme. I was talking on the phone to Aaron, the Metal Theologian, and he brought up this album. This is Jimmy Holes. Just a very obscure album by a Christian artist, but it's very good prog. Almost, I don't know, kind of ethereal in a way. Some might even call it psychedelic in a way. But yeah, I just call it straightforward prog rock, and very good stuff. And you know, cover kind of matches, very progressive rock and roll. Gatefold album, this is 80s actually, 1980. But I was gonna say it's not like that Magnum where it sounds 80s. It has that 80s keyboard sound. It's more 70s sounding. Very cool record. I've shown this one in the past several times. I have it on CD as well, so it's one I do spin quite often. Let's see what else we got down here. I spun this one again. Hadn't spun it in a while since I first got it. So Overkill live in Overhausen. This is Volume 2, Feel the Fire live, the complete album, recorded live. And honestly, I think this is better than the original release. And I know some people are going to be like, that's blasphemy! So be it. I just really enjoyed it because it's so tight, so heavy, so well recorded. It's just fantastic. And then it captures the band's energy on stage, which you can't capture in a studio quite as well. Very cool double album, gatefold, colored vinyl. This one's on Nuclear Blast. It was released this year. Excuse me, itchy nose. This is a reissue from this year, silver edition of Nevermore's This Godless Endeavor. Again, gatefold, double album set. Andy Sneap production, so it's just pristine but heavy, doesn't lose its edge whatsoever. I love Nevermore. They were in the 90s. Those guys were one of my go-to bands because there was just so much crap in the 90s. And these guys were just putting out great stuff right into the 2000s, and right up until you know, till they disbanded and went their separate ways. Every single album I think is at least good, if not great. This one I would label as great. That was on silver vinyl. Working on the reissue of the first Holy Soldier record for Rox Records, and so while I was doing that, I pulled out this one. Hadn't heard it in a while, so grabbed it and pulled it out. I don't know if I ever saw this one. This particular version is actually autographed by drummer Terry Russell. He was at a show that I was at, working the Rox booth, and so I had brought my cover along knowing he was going to be there and had him sign it for me. This one's got a cool color vinyl too, so I'm going to head and really show that too. Breaking my own rules here, but what are rules for anyhow? So yeah, there you go. I don't know how well that's going to show, but it's kind of a deep red color with black mixed in. It's really pretty. LA, melodic, hard rock, heavy metal, huge hooks, Great vocals from Steve and Patrick. Love their first 2 albums. Like I said, Rox is going to be releasing their first album in 2018. It's actually already in production. So, last 2 band I have been talking about recently. Another Canadian band. This is kind of a pop rock kind of thing. This is Prism, their first album from 1977, I believe. And this is Armageddon from 1979. So this is their first and third album. They also had a live album in here somewhere that I don't own, but their studio album, this is their third studio album. So both of these kind of have a similar vibe, being kind of that progressive, slightly progressive kind of pop rock. I've described their music as somewhere between, you know, like Stars and Styx, maybe a bit of Angel thrown in, you know, that sort of sound. It's progressive. It can be hard rocking at times, but you know, it's got valleys and peaks and highs and lows, and you know, there's melodic and mellow moments. There's heavier moments. It's just, like I said, kind of progressive, but more along the lines of, you know, those bands I spoke of, kind of a pop rock band. Vox. Von is another band I was thinking of that they kind of have a Zon, excuse me, Z-O-N, Zon. Another band that they have a similar sound to, another Canadian pop rock, progressive rock band. Both are great. So I have their first 3 albums. I have more of their stuff from the 80s. I just haven't really delved into them yet because I really wanted to get into these ones before I really delved into the 80s, which I have a feeling is going to shift in sound like a lot of the bands did in the 80s. So there you go. That's it for my What's Spinning. Kind of a short video. Keep it that way. Let you all go. God bless. Stay strong.